Okay, you crazy kooky woodcays. I am here, and thank you. No. Welcome back to In Ayame We Trust. That is my podcast, In Ayame We Trust. It is available everywhere you want to listen to. Today, I'm in LA. Crazy, because originally I hated LA. Remember that? Remember that time? But now I'm here, sat today, talking to the beautiful, the powerful, that's you, by the way, the passionate Alana Hadid.
That's me.
That is you.
Oh my God. All of those things?
All of those things.
Oh, wow,
I'd say you're really powerful. That's a big word I would use.
say I'm powerful too. And let's just own our things, right?
Fantastic.
Instead of being like, no,
you're not.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You know, when people like compliment you, when they call you beautiful, do you go, oh, no. I say yes.
And I think that's amazing about you, by the way. And you are.
Thank you. So just as because I'll be honest, people are probably going to watch this and be like, Ayame, why are you with Alana Hadid? I'll be honest. Because what the frick? I'm really happy to be here. We met at Copenhagen Fashion Week.
We did. And I'm a huge fan.
Crazy.
I am.
That makes me want to explode.
Really?
What?
You're like a big deal. I hope that you know that.
Get a clip of that. Please snip that bit.
She is a big deal. But if you're watching this, you already know that.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, I know who you smash or pass for, and what things you like to be crushed. I also know what hotels you stay in.
Yeah, which is fun. I'm really happy about that.
But I'm excited to get to know you more.
Oh my God, slay!
Because
that's so weird.
Yeah. No, we met at Copenhagen Fashion Week, and we were sat across from each other because they were like, "Oh, they both speak English."
Do you think that's why they did that? Because all the English speakers were on that same table. That's crazy.
I mean, everyone speaks English. Let's be real.
We're just so. But do you speak any other languages?
A little bit of French.
Slay.
My Arabic sucks. I'm learning Danish.
Wow. For Copenhagen?
Yeah, because I want to move there.
Really? Mm-hmm. Everyone says that. Everyone's like, oh, Copenhagen's like the best place to live.
Did you not love it?
Cut the cameras. No, I did. It was lovely.
But you didn't really get to experience Copenhagen because during Fashion Week, the reality is that all you're seeing are venues and fashion people.
And not much. You don't really see.
Yeah.
I did go to a really nice brunch place.
Yeah.
It had a nice plate.
And that's it.
That's it. I did go to Copenhagen. Okay. I went to Copenhagen the year before, but with an ex.
Oh, well, that's why you hate it.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I don't want to talk about it. But no, I don't know if I'd move there because I really love London.
Okay.
I don't know whether that's embarrassing.
Close enough that you can go. It's not that far. What's
I think it's
the
a
flight?
2-hour flight.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
I live in America where everything takes 2 hours.
You do. I'm so sorry.
It took me 2 hours to get here.
I'm so sorry. Well, everyone talks about
it. Didn't take me 2 hours to get here.
It's quite, the traffic here is awful. I know everyone talks about the traffic here, but the traffic here is quite bad.
Yeah, I'm also on the LA is not the greatest place to live in the world.
Yes,
train.
because I think the last time, when I met you, did I tell you I hated LA?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was the first thing.
Yeah, hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you? I hate LA.
I do. I don't hate it as much now.
Yeah.
Because I think last time I came, it was in the winter time.
Oh yeah, it's not cool.
This time it's sunny.
Yeah.
It's still, because I think why does it smell?
Yeah, I think that it looks like it's pretty.
Yes.
But it's really unkept.
Yeah, okay.
That's,
Do you have people that pick up
That's very
litter?
indicative of people in LA as well.
Oh. Slay. Tea, big tea. Well, not you though. You're
thanks. I shower.
very well kept.
Yeah.
Well, as you should. No, I really love this top.
Oh, thank you. It's actually from Copenhagen. It's Ghani.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, big slay.
I think everything that I wear is basically from Denmark or Scandinavia.
They're really Copenhagen-y.
But these are also Levi's, which is where we met.
Yeah,
and
which is
from the gifting suite.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at that. Did you do that on purpose to remember old times? Okay.
Oh yes.
I was hoping you did.
That was such an ironic dinner.
It was really strange
for me.
Why?
Because the food was American, and I was in Copenhagen,
it was awful.
and
they
I was
gave us
"Why
wieners?"
Yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I was.
Love you, Levi.
I'm we love Levi's.
Yeah,
just not the dinner.
Not the dinner. The dinner was awful.
But I just remember when you came back to your seat and they had put the plate of hot dogs
right on my. I came back and there was just a plate of just wieners, and I thought, oh, okay. They said give all.
They've seen your podcast.
They have. I do love wieners. Anyway.
So
speaking of Copenhagen Fashion Week, because obviously you are a designer, a stylist, a model, an activist, a powerful woman. You're a crazy kooky cat.
I do a lot of shit.
You do?
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
All the shit. I've been in fashion for a really long time. I basically done everything. I was the door girl at a club
Slay.
for a while. Like I did PR. I was a personal shopper. I had my own clothing line. I had a t-shirt line that was designed by kids and young adults with disabilities.
Love.
I've done a lot of shit.
Yeah.
The activism stuff started probably more like 2021 and then really like ramped up after October 7th. Mm-hmm. The most fun date that everyone wants to hear about on their podcast. It's so fun to talk about. Yeah. So, you know, I just like doing everything. And it's probably because, as we were talking about, I might have ADHD and I like to do a lot of things. Potentially. I sleep like this. So.
You do, which I find with both hands?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Both hands. Like
Maria Neil's daughter?
Yes.
Love.
Yes,
love.
that you
love.
know. Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, because I have that one in silver.
And by the way, you said it really well.
She's Swedish, right?
Oh, my God, yes. And how did you know that?
I just know every European ever. And every country. But no, sorry. Yes, that's how you got into, because you were ADHD and you're crazy.
Yeah, I like doing things. I've always been like a multitasker and I like to do a lot of stuff. And obviously I find like I want to explore my creative side, but I also want to do something good for the world. I feel like that's, you know, should be what people are trying to do. I don't know.
I think that too.
Yeah.
Not everyone thinks that. I don't know if anyone knows. You're Palestinian, half Palestinian.
I am. I'm half Irish.
And half... Oh, wow.
Your people. Well,
but the British people, English? Yeah, English people just mess up everything.
Yeah.
Please. We messed up both sides of your life.
Big fat colonizers.
I'm so sorry. I'm also half black, so I understand that.
That's true.
No, we English people have ruined so many lives.
Let's take a moment for that.
Let's take a moment.
Yeah, Americans have too, so I...
True, but Americans historically are also English. I think it's just that gene.
This is true.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
So do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
I mean, every American does, even if they're not Irish.
Right.
That's just like about drinking
You
and
like
wearing
to drink,
green.
Yeah. Big say.
It's really not a thing here. Like it's not.
Oh,
it has nothing to do with being Irish here.
Oh, it's just
an alcoholism.
Right.
Yeah.
As a Palestinian, kind of being in America, what was that like? Because I'm not Palestinian. I support Palestine, obviously. No, I'm not. I know it's crazy. Wish. But even being here, loving Palestine, I'm like, how? How?
Well,
how was it? I mean, not like...
It was not... I mean, I also grew up very privileged. So I'm going to really start... Yeah, well, I'm just going to start with that.
Right.
Well, I think also there's like a big thing about not acknowledging your privilege. Like, although we were Palestinian, my father was very successful. Obviously, this was pre my sister's being born. But my father was very successful, although he had to work. He was a refugee, he came here and he worked for everything that he had. When I was born, my dad was doing very well and I came from a very privileged family. So my experience of being a Palestinian American is, painted with the brush of the reality that I grew up in a privileged life. Mm-hmm. But with that, I was never taught that there was something wrong or scary about being an Arab or being a Palestinian. I was just always told, you're half Irish and you're half Palestinian, you're half Arab. And that was it. Like, I had friends who were German and English. And I always thought of it as like...
the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, oh, I'm this and you're that, and that's it. Mm-hmm. So I was like happy that I was able to do that they kind of gave me that ability, that my parents didn't like take away from me the ability to be like proud of what I was. Later on in life, I realized why so many other people were not as open about being Palestinian because, one, they didn't come from a privileged place where, people were just kind of like, oh, you're from here. And they weren't really talking about it because, they were not living in like liberal Washington, D.C. where they could just say whatever they wanted. Yeah. but you know, I was sheltered in a lot of ways, and I'm thankful for being sheltered because I said I was Palestinian from the beginning, and I never stopped saying I was Palestinian.
Yeah.
So, I'm proud of that. There were just a lot of people I know who it took them a very long time to like come out basically as being Palestinian. They were either Lebanese or they were Syrian or they were Egyptian, they were Jordanian. And understandably so, because a lot of people would have not given them a job or they couldn't have started a business. And I know my dad suffered that. You know, he was always seen as like the Arab. But he didn't want us to have that. And so we just kind of went about our lives. Yeah.
Because obviously you come from essentially one of the biggest and most known Palestinian families.
It's weird when you say that because not that I don't know that, but whenever anyone says that, I'm like, I guess that's kind of true.
To me.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And so do you think that was like a protection almost?
Yeah. I mean, obviously when I was a child, my sisters weren't born. So my dad was quite well known, but in certain circles, you know, he was on like Architectural Digest and Forbes.
Love AD.
Yeah.
Love the videos.
But yeah, totally. But they, you know, but we weren't like necessarily like internationally known.
Right.
But we, you know, my dad was doing very well for himself.
Yeah.
Later on, obviously, when my sisters got into modeling and they were obviously did very well for themselves, just like a little bit.
They're doing all right.
They're fine. That was a totally different level of kind
exposure,
of experience and privilege and celebrity that we hadn't necessarily, we had been exposed to with other people and we were very slowly eased into it. It wasn't like a overnight success, you know. It happened very quickly, but also very slowly. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I do. It almost feels like an overnight, but there's been like the build up behind.
But we've also been exposed to that level of celebrity like our whole lives. Like one of my dad's best friends when I was a child was John Denver. I don't know if you know who John Denver is. He was a singer.
Oh.
He sang. Yeah, when I say that, I sound really fucking old. You're like, who the fuck is John Denver?
If you do the song, I might know the song.
Rocky Mountain High. I'm not going to sing.
Okay.
I have a horrible singing voice. You're going to be like, I don't know who that is. And that is because I don't know how to sing the song.
No.
Yeah, but look him up.
Is it
he was
country?
Very famous. It was more like folk, and he was like a big deal.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now I feel bad. Now I feel like
how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, so this is, way before your time.
Okay.
Jesus, I feel old.
No. No.
No, it's okay.
But you have
like
energy.
I could be your mom.
No. You could.
Yes.
You could
be your mom.
Functionally,
you
could have been, but
I would be proud of you.
I'm gonna cry. That's a really lovely thing to say.
As I'm like making some weird analogy about how much older than I am. If I was your teen mom, I would be proud of you.
Thank you, Mom.
Oh my God. This was such a good moment.
This
I love
was.
it.
That was really
like we're
nice.
healing things.
No one
that never were hurt in the first place.
Literally no trauma, but we're just healing it. Oh, I love that. Oh, my mum watching it.
She's like, wait, what?
Me. I've actually decided to change.
Did you just say she was your mom and then say she was proud of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a moment. You weren't there, Mum. You didn't get it. Now I have 2 months. Well, technically I have 3 months.
No shade to your mom. She did a very good job.
Oh, stop. My God. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is just, so did yours.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, stunned.
She's so cute.
Mums are really cute.
Yeah, they really are.
Sometimes I think to myself, I feel so bad that I ever shouted at you when I was younger.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Did you ever shout at your mom?
Oh, 100%.
It's so sad.
I was actually a really good kid up until like teenage years when I
all
started
have
like
that.
secretly smoking.
Smoking
Yeah.
the tobacco or?
Oh, tobacco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't a big weed smoker.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
And it's legal here.
I know it is. And I'm not into it.
No?
No, I'm not a drug person.
Me neither.
Even though it's like, although mushrooms are amazing.
I've heard.
Yes.
I've heard good things about mushrooms. I've heard they're good for anxiety.
Yeah.
But I've never taken them.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. No.
You're in California.
I know. Are they legal here?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No, not technically. You can go to Colorado for that.
Is that legal?
Jamaica.
They're legal in Jamaica. Can we get a fact check
Everything
on
is legal in Jamaica.
Really?
I mean, okay, that's a ridiculous overstatement, but like all the plant medicines.
Right.
Yeah.
Vibes Cartel is from Jamaica. He just got released.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just a little fact.
Side information.
Yeah. Which, and I don't know if this is a fact.
I feel like it should be like a ticker on the bottom.
Yeah, literally breaking news. Vibes Cartel release on my pod. Really strange.
That would be amazing.
Could you imagine? I don't think it's news though. I think he's been out for a while.
Yeah. Has he?
Maybe
I don't know shit, and I don't even know if I know who that person is.
Do you know remember when we take your virginity?
Yes. See, this is why I didn't sing.
He actually says Gaza Missy.
Does he?
There's a thing, and I don't know if it's a fact, but because there's a place there's obviously Gully side, Gaza side in Jamaica, and the Gaza side is to do with, or to kind of show,
solidarity?
Solidarity, or kind of be that, because it's like a reflection of Palestinian Gaza and Palestine. I think, and I don't know if I'm making that fact up.
That's so cute if that's real.
If that is, and I do have Jamaican in me, so
yeah,
slay. But yeah, Gaza Missa, and it's
You did that actually really well.
Gaza Missa.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. Not that I would know like the right way of doing it, but it just sounded really nice.
Really Jamaican.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? You are Jamaican and you sound really. This is me being your mom.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just giving you validation.
Thank you. No, I really appreciate. I do need it. I don't have enough. No, it's actually really bad. I actually need a lot.
The internet isn't giving you enough validation.
No, that's a valid point. See, the thing is, I think I'm an egotistical maniac. I love compliments.
I'm like, okay.
And I feel, even though, you, right?
What star sign are you?
I'm an Aquarius. What are you?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my man is an Aquarius. I love Aquarii.
Apparently Aquarius men are dangerous.
Oh, really?
Not like safety wise.
Oh, not at all.
No, is he like Labrador?
No.
Is it Labrador? Golden Retriever?
Golden Retriever.
Really?
Yeah.
And you black cat?
I don't know. I'm a Leo. What's that?
Oh.
I'm a lion.
I'm
a man eater.
Big slayers. You should be. Do you ever get talk to me about something else?
Yeah. Sometimes. Like, I love that we're just like chatting. I want to talk about Palestine. Like, I'm here to talk about Palestine. But yeah, like sometimes it's nice. It's hard. It's hard. You know, I obviously love that I get to be like a spokesperson for Palestinians and people on the ground. And then I get to like kind of be a bullhorn for them and, you know, amplify their voice. But it's hard because it consumes your entire life. It's my entire life. I don't even get to. I don't get to go anywhere. It's different. Like, I'm sure people come up to you all over the place randomly on the streets and say,
I'm
like,
really famous.
Sorry. You are, though.
No, sorry, carry on.
You are really famous. No, not at all. You are. I'm sure people come up to you all the time and say like weird things to you, or just like I'm a big fan or whatever. I get that, but the way in which I get it is like really depressing, to be totally honest, and sometimes very uplifting and beautiful, but also really sad. Like, and so the consistency at which I'm like constantly reminded of what's going on, which I'm reminded just in my own life, like I'm out to dinner and someone comes up and it's so beautiful. I'm not telling people not to come up and say hello to me. But I never really get to kind of, there's no escape from that. And so it's hard. Yeah. And that's the reality of it. Like I ask for this. It's very different. Like I wanted to be a part of the conversation around Palestine. I threw myself into it. I'm not like pity partying myself. Like I want it. I'm an activist. Like I go out and actively speak about Palestine on a daily basis. But people are always talking about like, how do you find a balance? And it's very hard because there really is no like place where I don't get, hit in the face with what's happening. Like even if I'm, having a burger somewhere, like someone will come up or someone will say something. And that's so beautiful that people feel safe with me and comfortable with me to share. But at the same time, it's like, it's hard. Yeah. There's not a lot of like outside enjoyment.
No, because I think as well, I mean, it is, what you're doing is beautiful and spreading the awareness and helping in that way is beautiful, but it's almost, you've got to remember that it is in itself harrowing, and to be reminded of that and to be as I say, because I think I said it earlier, that you are it. You have such a connection with it in a way that I had a conversation with one of my, because I'm mixed race, I had a conversation with my aunt on my mum's side, who's white, about when things happened with George Floyd, and the BLM. And I was trying to explain that it's sad, but it feels different. It feels so much different being that. So yes, what you're doing is lovely, but I can understand why at times it's kind of like, so how do you kind of save your mental health, so to speak?
Don't.
Okay.
I'm just being totally honest. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Like, but I think that's also like another layer. Like I always say it's like the third or fourth wave of horror in a genocide. And, you know, it's happening to Sudanese people and Congolese people and Ethiopian people and Haitian people and Puerto Rican people and Hawaiian people, not just Palestinians. There's so many, you know, Indigenous American people have been dealing with this for a long time. Black American people and Black people all over the world have been dealing with this for a long time. It's not like we're not, you know, this is not the oppression Olympics, but it is like right now, I think that Palestinians not in particular are also going through something that we've been dealing with for, you know, 76 years, but now obviously on a greater scale are kind of dealing with this like collective trauma and this wave of trauma that we have not necessarily dealt with before. And I think that's why this solidarity between all of these groups is so important, because we are learning how to continue our lives while this is all happening from people who've been going through it for a lot longer, or from people who have had, you know, ostensibly worse things happened. You know, Palestine just happens to be the kind of thing that people are paying attention to. And so we're saying, hey, you know, pay attention to us, but don't just pay attention to us, because it's not just about us, you know? And so it's hard for me to like feel bad for myself. Right. Like I say, you know, like, oh, you know, whatever, but I don't really give myself the time to like go, woe is me, because I live in a house that is standing with a bed and food in the refrigerator and air conditioning when it's hot and water. And I have all of my family members, and, you know, it's like I talk to friends on the ground every day, and they're telling me about the things that are happening to them, as though they're like things that are happening to me. Like, you know, I went to do this and I went to do that, like me being like, oh, I came here today. But what they're saying is like, I had to move again, and I had to take my family, and another one of my family members was martyred. And, you know, they're just saying it because it's so become like everyday life. And so like, how could I really feel bad for myself that people are interrupting my dinner to tell me that they appreciate what I'm doing? Yeah. It's so, almost, the mix of that. Cause I think, essentially what you said, that you have this kind of, oh God, you feel sad for a minute, but then like, I'm safe. Yeah. And so you move on. Yeah. And as much as like all these things are relative, like obviously I'm not saying that like, you know, I can't have anything bad happen in my life, that it wouldn't be, you know, that I'm not going to do the whole thing where people shame you for feeling bad about what's going on with you just because there are more horrible things happening in the world. Obviously everyone's emotions are relative, but at the same time, I really can't, like, I don't feel like I can like attend fully to my mental health. I mean, I go to therapy. Slay. Fucking love therapy. Everyone should be in therapy. I don't think I should. Oh, why? Oh my God. I want to go down this rabbit hole. Let's do this. And I'll tell you for why it's sorry. No, let's do it. No, because I'm going to fight you on this one. Oh, really? Well, because I think okay, not to say I'm perfect. This is, okay, but you're not going to say you're perfect, right? No, I'm not going to say I'm perfect. Okay. But it's working for you is what you're going to say. No, yeah. Because I have a lot of, this is crazy, but I do have a lot of mental illness in my family. Okay. So I have and have grown up with such an exposure to mental illness that I feel as though I'm able to talk myself off the ledge so much. And if I kind of if I act in a way that's very much different from my normal, I can
pinpoint why.
Okay.
Like anxiety, I can pinpoint why I feel. If I get overwhelmed, I know why.
You're therapizing yourself.
I can therapize myself. And I feel like if I got a therapist, it would just be to vent. And so I'd just be paying money to vent.
Yeah.
But I do that now.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, I just got a podcast instead.
I just literally, oh my God, yes. Because then I just vented on my podcast when I first started it. That was it. I think
and then you let people comment and tell you what's fucked up.
Yeah, what's wrong with me. But I know. I know. So that's why I feel like I don't need therapy.
I know also.
Right.
And I have had many therapists tell me I should be a therapist.
Slay.
Yeah. And like I went to a kind of a mental health, almost like retreat. It's phenomenal. It's like not a cult, but everyone thinks it's a cult.
Is it the one where you have the blindfold?
No, that's so cool though.
Really?
I want to try that.
Okay.
And I want to do a silent retreat, but this is called Hoffman, and it's a totally like whatever. It's like every celebrity does it, blah 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 blah. But it's really awesome, amazing, changed my life.
Okay,
but I had like the people there be like, you should work here, like whatever. But I still have a therapist because therapists need therapists. So people who can like address things about themselves and see those things in other people take on a lot and should have a place that they can like very safely vent.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that because I do take on a lot. Although I feel as though I shut down. Like if
Me too.
Really?
Yeah. I just like, I'm not a...
Go away.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like we have the same...
Are you my mum?
Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God.
Did you have a teenage pregnancy? No.
Good. You can leave that in.
Big slay, big slay.
I'm like, yes, and I don't have children, so we can talk about that.
Oh, well, I hate children.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, that's a...
I think they're just terrible people.
You're okay to say that. I think that everyone has their own... Like, I don't feel like it's fair for people... I'm not going to have children. Okay. I have a stepdaughter, basically. I'm not married yet, but I have basically been raising her. She's 11 years old. And I think that that's amazing because I didn't have to do all the other stuff. And like, I'm getting to be part of a child's life without having to do all that. And I'm so proud of her biological mom, but I didn't have to do that.
Yeah. No, I don't.
But you don't like hate children?
No, I don't hate them. Not in like a, what's that woman in Annie? Mrs. McCravesy? Mrs.
Don't know. The one that is that gave them Hard Knock Life.
Yeah, okay. Literally the originator of that song. I don't just like hate children, but I don't like them as people. Okay. They don't offer me anything.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
I think they're entitled.
They have a lot of diseases that they give you.
They give so many diseases. I think if I ever decided to have a child, I would like to adopt a child that's like cognitive.
So like at that age.
10 upwards.
That's actually the hardest age for children to get adopted at.
Which is why I like that. Because mama wants you.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet.
Thank you.
I love that.
No, yeah, I'm perfect.
Okay, so now we've turned it around and you're amazing.
No.
Okay.
That's what I do. I'm a narcissist. No. Speaking of narcissists, no, I'm kidding.
Have you diagnosed yourself yet?
No, well, I say I'm a narcissist, and I think I'm a narcissist because I adore myself.
By the way, if you think you're a narcissist, you're not a narcissist.
Interesting.
It's part
a lot of people say that to me.
Yeah, you can't say you're a narcissist and actually be a narcissist. If you have decided that you're a narcissist, you're not. You're just maybe very self-involved.
I'm very self-involved.
Okay, that's fine. I'm pretty self-involved.
Slay, as you should, because I feel like I
am a human rights activist, though.
True.
So not that self-involved.
True. So I guess that there is a limit there for how self-involved you can be. I just love myself.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Love it.
Anyway, what got you into being an artist, i.e. styling, fashioning, designing, modeling?
What got me into fashion? Well, my whole family has been in fashion. You know, my dad had like a t-shirt line or a collared shirt line when he was like in, when he was in his 20s or something.
Slay.
My mom modeled. My older sister was like kind of the original. She was the like first Hadid model.
Slay.
She was the OG. She says she's the lead Hadid. You met her.
Lead Hadid. I did.
Yeah.
Love her.
She's quite loud, and she definitely is the lead Hadid. And she is the original. Like, she's so badass.
She is.
And stunning.
beautiful.
Right?
I mean, you all like it. I don't
thank
actually
you.
like being around you. As you know, as a family, it's just kind of disrespectful. You can't all be. Anyway, we won't talk about it. But yeah,
My dad
really
has very strong genes, but
Really strong.
But our mothers are both
beautiful.
very beautiful.
Anyway.
But yeah, fashion. No, I got into fashion kind of after running around some other things and trying not to be in fashion, basically. Like that was like a thing. I felt like it was my older sister's thing.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm going to try to do some other things.
And
then
different.
Okay. And then I came back to it, and I kept coming back to it.
Right.
And then I didn't start modeling until I was 40. So my first runway was Copenhagen Fashion Week.
Yes, you ran.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, you walked.
I walked. I ran.
Why is it called a runway then if you walk?
Because it's like a runway, the runways that, airport.
Airplanes.
I would imagine that's
Right.
the reason
No,
why.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That felt like a stupid
Just
question.
like a
how you said
straight
it.
line.
Yeah, runway.
Yeah.
Catwalk.
That's also a thing.
Why cat?
I think that's also a term and not actually.
Oh.
Yeah, anything to do with cats.
Oh.
Not sure.
I thought it might be like a woman thing.
It could be. I don't think so, though.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'm just going to say.
Right, no, I'm just asking you to speak on behalf of all of fashion.
All the fashion people?
All of fashion and
no.
Right, okay.
Now that we've cleared that up.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I did fashion week in Copenhagen, and I just liked Scandinavian fashion, and I was like, okay, cool. And I'm not like the oldest model here because I love that there's like actual representation in Copenhagen Fashion Week. And yeah, I did my first runway with Sax Potts, and Erin Wasson was there, and she was killing it. She's just like so much hotter than I am, and I was like, oh my god, girl, she was so much hotter than like everyone there.
Hot people are just really hot.
Yeah, she was wearing a bathing suit. It was raining.
Slay.
She was wearing like 6-inch heels.
Oh,
it was phenomenal. She looked phenomenal.
Big slay.
I know.
Is it not scary? Do you know? Like, what are your thoughts just before you're about to?
Oh, it's like so much adrenaline.
Really?
It's a super high.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's totally fucking scary.
Okay.
Also, like, I'm being compared to two of the best runway models in the world who I happen to be related to. So it's like, oh no pressure there. It's not like other models, and I think that that's amazing, but no one is like completely. There are whole TikToks just like breaking me down on like so many levels and just like talking mad shit about my body, and that's fine if someone has like the time.
It's not fine.
Well, I'm just saying, if someone really wants to take the time,
they're losers.
To like screen shoot things, screen record things, and then do a green screen, like you obviously have nothing going on.
I think the same thing. People that comment and make mean videos, I put them in the same category as people that call into radio shows. We have this thing back home called LBC.
Oh my god, I love LBC, by the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate LBC.
Oh well, I love it just to watch the interactions between the hosts.
Oh, on TikTok. Yeah. Because we do have some good hosts on LBC that are like the racists will call in and they'll be like, "Are you talking about British LBC?"
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Where they call in, they're like, "Get them out of our country."
One?
No, I hate LBC. So I thought.
Oh, I just like watching the kind of back and forth between the hosts and the callers.
Bigots.
Because a lot of the time, they shut them down.
A lot of the time.
And I think that that's phenomenal. And sometimes it's just like interesting to hear what a swath of the population has to say about something, especially the conversation around Palestine and Israel. It's like very interesting to listen to.
I feel like I can't listen to it. I can't. Oh. Because it infuriates me. It makes me so like It just infuriates. Like
I'm so used to it at this point.
You must.
Yeah.
Be. Yeah.
I spent a lot of time. Do you remember Clubhouse? You're not that old.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse?
No, Clubhouse. Okay, so you're that young.
I never watched Mickey Mouse. Clubhouse.
Yeah, that was a great. No, Clubhouse. That's not what I'm talking about. Clubhouse was an app where you could like talk to people around the world, and there was like. It was big 2020, 2021.
Like House Party.
Yes, kind of like House Party, but it was like the original.
Oh, okay.
And so, there would be like a stage and people could come in and listen. It's kind of like Twitter Spaces.
Okay.
But Clubhouse was the original. By the way, fuck Twitter Spaces. But yeah, I said it.
I don't
know if you're allowed to put that in, but fuck Twitter Spaces. They're so gross always.
I don't know what Twitter Spaces is. Is it like Omegle?
So it's if you go on, well, I guess Twitter doesn't exist anymore. X Spaces, which sounds so ridiculous.
Jeez,
and weird.
Elon, get it together.
They're as ugly as that new car that they just put out. Yeah.
I see them everywhere. This is the car that we saw today, that box, stupid. But what is that? Is that a real functioning car?
Oh, yeah, it is. And it's purposely, he is just fucking with people.
Right.
He made this thing so big that it doesn't fit into a standard garage, like on purpose.
No.
So that it always is sitting out in front of people's garages.
No.
And these people spent so much money to get this such a like...
It's ugly. It's an ugly car.
Excuse my hand motion, but such a jack off car.
Jack off.
Yeah.
We say wanker.
Oh, wanker, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't you say, is bell end a thing?
Bell end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just, the bell end.
Yeah, I dated a guy
bell
from
end?
London.
Oh.
He was a bell
Big
end.
slay. Big
Yeah,
slay.
big one. Yep. Yeah.
Where were we?
Yeah. We were talking about Clubhouse. And
Clubhouse, yeah.
I'm so proud of myself.
No, honestly.
Yeah, right.
I was lost.
So it was this kind of Twitter Spaces thing. And I would just sit there and listen to Zionists talk shit about Palestinians all day. And I gained a very thick skin in hearing it. And it's so important for you to know your oppressor and for you to understand
know your enemy.
I think I think I kind of I had maybe being in these spaces, maybe pre 2020, I had a much more let's all hold hands and kumbaya our way to a solution. Mm-hmm. I felt a little bit more like that. We can come together and figure it out.
Yeah.
And after hearing a lot of these conversations, I was like, oh no, that's not real. That's not a reality.
Not gonna happen.
That's not the sentiment of the population, because although I had been to Israel multiple times and Palestine multiple times, I don't think I really had a good idea of what the reality was on the ground, and hearing from all of these people speaking their truth, which was a large, it would be 3,000 people and there'd be 300 people talking. And of the 300 people, half of those people would be, Israeli. Right. Or Zionists, and they would say these really atrocious things about Palestinians, and I would hear that day after day after day, and I'm like, okay, the reality is that there's no holding hands, and the coexist idea is just really bullshit when one people is just literally shooting the other person in the head while they're holding their hand.
Yeah, for sure.
That took a big turn. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but did you know because with everything, the oppression, and especially after, I think a lot of people after October 7th were, because of everything that's happened since, were more attention was there. Yeah. But a lot of people, because obviously the stuff that I've been doing, a lot of people are like, oh, well, why, what, not why, but why do you, what makes you feel like you should, or and I feel like there's no other choice, in my opinion. Yeah. And two, I knew about, because I'd learned about it in school, where I think a lot of people hadn't. Because not as part of a curriculum, just during school time. Because growing up in West London, I had a lot of Arab friends, not just Palestinian, but just
Arabs.
everywhere. But it's all kind of interconnected. The whole Ottoman Empire. That's not Arab. Anyway, but as in.
Yes, anyway. They're not Ottomans anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I find it so interesting that, because I think something happened around 2014. There was a similar.
There was, there was a major invasion. I can't remember if it was Protective Edge, but anyway, something in Gaza.
And that's because I had, as I say, friends that were from that close to that area. That's when I learned about it, and I think not a lot of people had, and I find it, and so when October 7th happened, and I made a video, and a lot of people are like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean Palestine? And what do you mean 100-year war? What? And I'm like, girl, what?
I mean, I think that's, you're making the point that it was almost so like boggling to you that
Yeah.
other people didn't understand something that you felt was like very relevant history and recent history.
Yeah. So that was...
Yeah. I think that that's something that a lot of people are dealing with. It's like they understand, they know, or at least they had like a kind of an idea that Palestinians were being oppressed in Palestine. But
it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
Yes. And then a lot of the people who were like, you know, what's happening to Palestinians are really bad. On October 7th, we're like, kill them all. And it was a huge shift.
I just don't understand. Anyway.
Yeah, it was. And people who kind of get it don't get it. Like, you're also like, I don't get it.
I just don't get it.
And I am also like, I don't get it. Like, how could people at all in any way, especially when when in America we have, in many states in America, we have this law called Stand Your Ground. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
Is it to do with guns?
It does.
Great.
It's the idea that like if someone breaks into your house or comes on your property and you feel at all threatened, you can just shoot them. Okay. And I'm not advocating for it, but I'm saying there's a huge swath of the population of the United States who totally believe in protecting their property, that they have the right to basically armed resistance. And they can't transpose that idea onto people of any other place. It's like they cannot grasp the concept that all that Palestinians are doing are protecting themselves from an invader or people who are stealing their land.
I do want to know.
Yeah.
Crazy random switch.
Sure.
I wanted to know whether you thought that some activism that you have seen is performative or whether it's
100%.
right.
I mean, I think in every movement there's performative activism. I think that there's also like a lot of guilt that people feel, and they feel like in order to assuage that guilt, I think that's the word, assuage that guilt, they need to be open and conversational about the certain topic. It's like all the kind of like white women coming out and being like, I support black women.
Right.
Like there was that very cringy video that came out on TikTok at some point where there was this white woman and she was at a jazz show or something with this black woman who was playing, and she was like,
yes, she filmed her.
Yeah, and she was like, I love her, and I love, and it's like, this is like, that is so much of what like a lot of people are, and I think there's a lot in all the communities. I think that there are, you know, white people who feel guilty that they never knew anything about Palestine. I think there's Jewish people who don't really know where to put their guilt over what's happening to Palestinians. And instead of kind of learning about what's going on and then coming from a place of education and understanding and giving themselves space to learn, they just like jump at giving their opinion. And I think a lot of it is performative. I think it's because they want to be part of the conversation. They feel like if they're not, then people won't really know where they stand. When they don't really know where they stand to start with, like they don't really know what their feelings. I think that there are a lot of people who don't know what their feelings are and just go on the internet and say a bunch of stuff when a topic is hot.
Yeah.
And the irony of that is like, what's been happening to Palestinians has been happening to Palestinians for 76 years. So this isn't like a hot topic. You know what I mean? Like, we're not talking about like, this isn't like demure, like, you know, like be mindful. Okay. People like this is like something that, you know, I say, you know, it's not hard because it's pretty easy to say killing people is bad, but there is a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of history to it. And I do think that if people are going to go into like serious conversation about it, they should do their research and understand. And that's not to say that you can't just back Palestinians and you can't just say genocide is bad. But then after that, like I always say, do the work, because, you know, it's going to take doing the work in every movement. Like I can't just say that I support, you know, Black people in America or Black people all over the world and not try to like do the work myself as a person who's half white.
Do you think, because obviously with fashion, do you think that this is, I don't even know if this question is connected, but I've just, as I say, thought about it. Do you think that there's a responsibility for fashion to also be political and in some ways, not performative, but have a sort of, be political or align with politics?
I think everything is political.
True.
Yeah, like I think it's hard to say that it's not like, oh, I don't want to be political. Well, your entire life is political. Let's be honest. Like the water you drink that comes out of your tap, or that you don't drink because it's bad that comes out of your tap, or, you know, where you're parking on the street, or, you know, the lights that are on, or the fact that you don't have lights, or all of these things, that's all political. So to act like you're an apolitical person living in this world, no matter where you live, is bullshit. As far as the fashion industry, incredibly political. You know, fashion is polluting the earth. Let's be real. You know, fast fashion especially. So it's like, I'm not one of those people who's going to, like, you know, stand on a catwalk and pour blood on myself. But I think that representation is important in every space. And so if you're in the fashion world, if you're, you know, in the social media world, if you're a banker, if you're a scientist, like, there's a way to represent yourself and to also speak about what you think is important so that other people know that they can.
Making space for that.
Yeah. Like, I want to wear Palestine in the fashion space so that other people who are in the fashion space also feel comfortable to also be wearing Palestine. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Solidarity there.
I mean, I think it's important.
No, I think so too. I feel like, but it's also, I think it's also an art. I don't know. I feel like art, it's not also an art, but
it is art. It's art.
Well, fashion is art, but politics is also art, or like resisting different political movements is also an art.
It's creative.
Okay. Yeah,
it is. It's creative. Like, I mean, look at some of the like most like amazing creatives and activists that you know are probably, you know, writing poetry. They were making art. They were singing songs. They were doing all sorts of things in order to make people aware of their movements. And so, yeah, of course, come on, like, if you're a creative person, you're thinking outside of the box, which when you think outside of the box, you're usually
resisting.
Yeah. And opening your mind up to other ways of thinking, which usually leads to being, you know, more informed, which usually leads to being an activist.
Big slay. This is great. We're having such an in-depth conversation.
Yeah, we are. We've hit all the topics.
All the points.
Because we don't know how to stop ourselves, and we just go down deep rabbit holes.
We could go into... Would you like the bubble skirt? You know, like in fashion, the bubble skirt?
I'm not a skirt person.
Really?
Not a short skirt.
Okay.
Not a short skirt person.
You don't like the look of skirts?
I'm not a short skirt person because
you don't like wearing skirts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Not for me. I think other people look really cute in them.
Yeah. You just don't wear skirts.
I'm not a skirt person.
Fine. That's okay.
I'm a long dress person. I'm a jean person.
Maxi.
Yeah, I guess. Oh God, that sounds horrible.
No?
Is maxi like even cool anymore?
Maxi skirt.
Yeah, but is that cute?
I like
Tell
a maxi skirt.
As someone in their 20s.
I feel like a lot of people wear mid-axi.
What's that?
Like midi and maxi.
Ooh.
So it's like...
That's literally the worst place. That is the worst. That mid-calf is like what I've been avoiding my entire life.
Really?
Yeah.
But what if you did that with like a Mary Jane?
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh, okay.
I think with a boot like that.
Oh, a boot like that. Okay, fine.
Well, as long as you're... Yeah, no.
You don't want to show shin.
I disagree with that.
That's okay.
Mid-axi.
This is an open...
It sounds like a feminine something.
Feminine hygiene. Mid-axi.
Oh no, I'm third day of my cycle. I need my mid-axi.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
now every time I wear a mid-axi skirt, I'm not going to feel comfortable.
It's okay. I'll still give you compliments.
Thank you, Mum.
Very positive.
No, my question was, which takes us back to, because I feel like we jump from like ha 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 to ha ha.
Well, that's because that's just life.
Life.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Do you feel like, obviously, being in the life that you live, what are your thoughts on the block list? You know the block list?
Oh, the like blackout?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was like blackout when everyone was block out.
You just block loads of people that are not speaking up or just, what are your thoughts?
I'm on the fence about it.
Right.
I think if people have expressed that they are completely pro-Israel and that they believe that, Palestinians don't deserve to have a state or a place or life, block them. Like, why do you need to be within their spaces or allow them to have access to yours, especially when it comes to, and I think the idea behind it was if they're doing paid ads or anything that they wouldn't be able to access your account
right.
With those ads. And I support that. I think that people were being a little bit hasty in that they were hitting people who hadn't said anything and never really had a chance to. And
okay.
I think we saw that people did kind of come to their senses over time. And yeah, of course, it's hard to say to people there's a time limit because there are a lot of people who on October 7th had never heard about Palestine, but then jumped on the train. And thankfully, I'm glad that they did. But it's, we could have said to them, hey, where were you for the last 76 years? And we're not thank you. We're good. All filled up here. We only want people who've been talking about Palestine this entire time.
Right.
So, I'm a back and forth girl. I understand that it definitely pressured people in order to speak, which I think is beautiful and amazing. But I also feel like some people were not given really the opportunity to make their stance known. They just hadn't said anything yet.
Yeah.
And I also think that there were a lot of people who jumped up and said stuff, didn't really know what they were talking about, but they felt like they had to be part of the conversation, I was saying, which is performative. It's not real. And I don't want performative activism. I don't want people to be talking about it just because they're scared of being canceled. I want someone to say it because they really believe in it, and I think that that's the important part is sustained activism. And not one campaign where they're sponsor this family and then you never hear them talk about Palestine again. It's let's talk about it. And let's be about it. Be about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think with the block list, I agree, especially with the whole saying it just so they don't get cancelled. That part didn't, any kind of speaking about it and drawing attention to Palestine is always great.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously in support of Palestine. Yeah. But when it was people that were posting because they were scared of getting cancelled, I kind of thought, but that's not the perfect way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I say, I'm also on the fence because at the same time, speak about it regardless.
Yeah.
I do agree.
It's hard.
It's a tricky one. Nuance.
Exactly. And it's just hard. I think in general, there's no really right way. I'm not going to tell the people who were putting pressure on people that they were doing wrong. The goal is all the same. We all need to kind of support each other in the end goal, as long as the end goal is a free Palestine and the end goal is collective liberation. And the end goal is, having a general larger understanding of what's going on in the world and how it's all connected. Then great.
Then however we get there.
Let's stop criticizing people who we're all on the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of inter-criticism within movements.
We're all digging the same hole. Some people have a spade. Some people have a spoon.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you.
Did you make that up?
Yeah, I just made it up right now. I know.
That was really good.
Really? Was it really?
Yeah, that was actually really awesome.
I'm basically Rumi.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You're basically Rumi for sure.
That's literally me. No other activists other than me.
Yeah.
No.
Just me. And I want to be sitting where you were sitting at Copenhagen.
Correct.
Yeah.
Big sleigh. Except the one where it rained.
I know. I loved that, by the way.
Did you like when it rained?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I know.
No, because I went to the John. There was one for a guy called John. And that was pouring.
I didn't go to that one.
Okay, well, I'm lucky.
Because I was
walking.
Yes,
you were.
And then we were at the Mary Mecco show and it started raining. And that was it was only for a minute.
Only for a little wee second. So it's fine.
It was kind of cute.
And the sound was really loud, really quickly.
That was insane.
That was scary.
Actually, I wish I had a video of your reaction when the sound came on. You were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, that was me. I was scared. I didn't know.
Everyone did, but you had a specifically beautiful reaction.
Beautiful is crazy.
Just oh my God.
Thank you.
Like I felt like it was one of those cartoons where like they were like, oh no, and then their like tea went up. And then,
Yes.
Yeah.
Tea is interesting because I'm British. So your first go-to is tea instead of like, I don't know.
You were like, oh
juice.
no.
Oh, is that your British accent? Can you do one?
I can.
Wow.
It's kind of okay.
Yeah. It's like, it's a bit cockney-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I watch Love Island.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Everyone,
of course.
why does the US love Love Island?
Oh my God, is that a real question?
I mean, the UK loves Love Island.
Everyone loves Love Island.
But I feel like everyone
the US
here loves
version
it.
is not, I think, as well done.
Okay.
Although the last season was amazing.
Do you like New York Fashion Week?
No, I don't dislike it. I think
okay.
I'm spoiled now because I've been going to Copenhagen Fashion Week for so long. And to be totally honest, it's just like such a loving space.
Yeah.
Where everyone like wants to be together and they talk and they chat and the, designers are like hugging you at places. Okay. And again, I come from a place of privilege because I have a fashion-y last name and and I'm part of the world. But at the same time, I've noticed from other people and I've asked around, like, how do you feel about it? And everyone's like, oh my God, everyone's so lovely.
Yeah.
And they're so nice.
I feel like that was the common theme whenever I spoke to people about Copenhagen, because it was my first Copenhagen Fashion Week. And everyone was like, it's so much more pleasant. Everyone's
it's also
nicer.
like sustainable.
Yeah, that's a big thing for Copenhagen.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's just so cool. I guess a year ago in September, I walked in the Elena Velez show
Slay.
through mud.
Oh,
With like crazy nails.
was that
and
an
just,
artistic choice? Okay.
She does like these like insane couture type of pieces and she had us walking in mud and there was a mud fight. I didn't really participate in it because I was being a diva, but
As you should.
yeah, I was like, bye. Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah, I was like, okay, everyone else. And so no, it was amazing. And she's a really phenomenal designer. If you have a chance to go to her show, you should.
Shout out, please invite
Elena
me.
Velez.
Elena Velez.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think New York Fashion Week is really cool. It's just, I am not going this season.
Okay.
I have some activism work that I'm doing instead.
As you should.
Yeah.
Big slay.
Yeah.
I've never been to New York Fashion. Well, I've been to New York Fashion Week now. So this is my first one.
Oh my God, you're going to love it.
Do you have any tips?
Oh God, this is the hot one. It's warm.
Okay.
So under boob sweat happens.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
Okay.
And they don't do as much stuff outdoors as you might think. So you will get air conditioning.
Slay.
Don't expect people to hug you.
Oh, okay.
There's not as much camaraderie in the front row.
Oh.
Yeah, or in the second row.
Oh, okay.
Because I've done both.
Slay.
And but the after parties are all really fun. That's where the fun stuff is. So like, go to as many of the after parties as you can.
Okay.
Because you're like, that's where you meet the people and then you start becoming friends, and the after parties are where it's at.
The
fashion shows
people
are phenomenal, but it's really the parties where you like kind of get to know people and start like developing camaraderies.
Okay, love for the next season.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know whether this is an unpopular and whether it's also like, you don't get it opinion.
I love that.
I don't know.
Say it.
I'm not a big fan of the shows that are like ready to wear.
Oh yeah.
I like to see like a big piece that you're walking in.
Yeah.
And it's like, you'd have to really strap me in to wear that.
I get it, because you're like, okay, cool, I can go to a store or website and see those. Yeah.
Because you're just walking in a jean.
But that's a kind of byproduct of the way the world is now, is that like everyone wants to see, everyone wants to see what they can get now.
Right.
It's like buy now, see now is like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And there's not as many like couture. You should go to Couture Week is what you really should be doing. That's also a really hard pull. Like I've never been invited to Couture Week.
Oh, if you've never
They don't give a shit about anything at Couture.
I will never
They're
be there
like,
then.
honey, you're not coming.
Oh.
But Couture Week would be up your alley. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I do like to see like a real art.
Moment.
Yeah.
Then you need to go see Elena Velez because she always does moments.
Okay.
She
The
had
mud.
me in some like corset that had to be like basically sewn on me, and then this like thing with this wet look and a thing and a thing and a thing, and like they were basically making it up into like the last minute, and it was fun. Everything was like hand sewn, and it was cool, and there was a whole moment, and you would have loved that show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Elena, please.
Yeah. If you do this within the next like 2 minutes. Then
Yeah.
I can put you in touch with someone.
Thank you. God, thanks, Mum. Me just calling you Mum the whole thing. No, I'll stop. Back to the conversation we were having before, because I do have a question.
Yeah.
Whether you think people should be doing more or what people should be doing. Does that make sense?
I think at this point, I just always say, like, don't stop talking about Palestine in whatever way that you feel, like, whatever your thing is. Like, you know, you've seen people have started like book clubs about Palestine, and musicians are making songs about them, and, you know, influencers are doing videos on it. Just don't stop talking about Palestine. I think that's the important thing. And I think the next layer of that is, I think, is investing in what a free Palestine looks like, or what liberation looks like for people. So it's not just about like donating to our misery, but also investing in what our success can look like. Yeah. And so it's, you know, okay, how can I support people who are on the ground, but also support people who have, you know, escaped, who are in Egypt? Like, how can I give to a fund for Palestinian students who've left Gaza? Like, I think that it's important for people to not look at us. We're not a charity case, and we're not needy. We've been placed in a place of necessity.
Right.
And so, I want people to start seeing that and understanding that. And I think that's the same for, you know, so many other people who are oppressed. We're not like a charity case. We're people who have been oppressed and put in a position that we are, you know, that we need help. But given like our own devices, we can take care of ourselves. Like, you know, we will. But what I think people need to do is start creating spaces where people feel comfortable, or if they feel safe. It's one of the reasons why I started Watermelon Pictures, is because I wanted a place where people in the myself and the other co-founders wanted to start a place in the entertainment industry where people didn't feel unsafe being Palestinian, being Arab, or speaking about Palestine. Or speaking about things that were kind of, you know, taboo, and then not like losing their ability to make art. And so I think that people should be doing that in every place, creating that safe space. Like right now with this podcast, you're creating a safe space for me to be able to talk about Palestine. That's huge. Like other people will know that they can come and listen to you, and also they know that you're going to be having people on that align with their views. And I think that that's, again, creating safe spaces. And I want more of that. I just want more people to feel safe to say, you know, genocide is bad and liberation is good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I think it is a no-brainer, but...
Should be.
We're fixing that.
Yeah, we're trying to fix it. One thing at a time.
One thing at a time, one step at a time, one spoon at a time.
One spoon at a time.
From my earlier quote.
Love
they should put me in a book.
They should. Are you going to write one?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not like about history. It's actually a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's about fairies. Do you like fairies?
Shut the fuck up.
Do you like fairies?
I love fairies.
It's about fairies.
Really?
Yeah, it's about fairies.
You have a book deal about fairies?
It's incoming book deal about fairies.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want a signed copy.
Oppression. Well, yeah, mixed race and black experience, but God. Fairies.
That's genius.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. I have had an absolutely magical time with you.
I have as well. And now that, you know, I'm your fictitious mother.
Correct.
I feel like I should say, good job.
Thank you, Mum.
Yeah.
And
it's been phenomenal.
As your daughter, fictitious daughter,
yeah.
I think you're an absolutely remarkable woman. And it is such a blessing that I was able to meet you and have this conversation with you and have a really good relationship with you.
I love it. Thank you.
This is blessed.
And now we can call ourselves friends, and
Yay!
we know more about each other.
Yes.
Even though I feel like I didn't get to ask you questions. Oh, that's not what I'm here for.
That's okay. Yeah, no, I feel as though they know enough.
Do they?
You know my star sign.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're Aquarius.
At my age.
Yeah.
This has been In Ayame We Trust. I have been Ayame. This has been Alana. We've had a fantastic time. All the earnings from this episode will be going to PCRF because why not? Anyway, I love you all. I love you. And you, bye.
Yay!